Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first Bytes with the Beat at Buffalo Inno. I'm Dan Mainier, a staff writer at Buffalo Business First and Buffalo Inno, and we're really glad to have you here today. Bytes with the Beat are short, one-on-one virtual conversations with local founders, investors, and stakeholders and thought leaders, and they're modeled after our core newsletter, The Beat. These are fun looks at the people, the companies, and the ideas that are driving the local technology ecosystem. And so before we meet our guest today, for anyone unfamiliar with Buffalo Inno and American Inno and what we do, we're a network of sites in 40 plus markets, and we're committed to covering and connecting local technology, startups, and growth and innovation, particularly in the Buffalo ecosystem since April of 2021. We do that through stories, through the newsletter, the previously mentioned newsletter, through events, and more. You can check us out at buffaloinno.com to see what we're all about. And you can sign up for The Beat, our once-a-week newsletter. The Beat is really the best way to stay plugged in. It's where we deliver everything to you in that one easy to read format. You're going to get local tech and startup news, proprietary research from on the ground in Buffalo that you simply can't find anywhere else, information on upcoming events, all the cool new job openings, and much, much more. So before we get going, I want to thank our sponsors who are helping to power the Buffalo Inno platform, the University at Buffalo and 43 North. Please check them out. They're here to support you. And now I would like to introduce Mike Mainier, the co-founder and president of HELIXintel. So Mike, how's it going? How was your weekend?
Hey, Dan, thanks for having me. It's an honor to be on the first one of these shows, and had a great weekend, got some rest. So, back in the office here. So yeah, great weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure. So, Mike, you were handpicked and chosen carefully. We were looking forward to, HELIXintel is a great representation of what Buffalo has to offer. And for those of you who don't know Mike personally, the question was a little loaded. He's a Pittsburgh native. And today's Tuesday, and I think I had kind of a spiel, and I was going to dwell on this, but since it went how it went, and I'm the moderator, I think we're just going to move on and continue with the conversation.
No, there's no doubt, there's no hiding it. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and the fact, and so being in Buffalo, that's the first question. Oh, are you a Steelers fan? So we were at church on Sunday, and the priest was like, "Go Bills!" And my little boy, 8 years old, he goes, "No, Steelers!" I said, "We're not getting out of here."
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you got to pick your spots. So let's just hope that the churches are safe for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. That's
so
fun. Yeah.
So listen, you represent one of the region's most exciting growth-oriented technology startups, and we're going to hear about your story. And there's a lot of great elements to that, but let's start off with some context on what we're talking about. Why don't you summarize HELIXintel and what it does?
Yeah. So HELIXintel is an online platform, and what we do is we make it simpler than ever for business owners to manage all of their equipment and all of their supplies in one place. I'm sure we'll get into a lot more about how we, how that came to be. But we're really, connecting, business owners and operators with our authorized network of service providers so that they can get things accomplished and get back to what they're doing day to day, which is run their business.
That's great. Okay, so if that's what HELIXintel does now, let's tell the genesis story. And let's start with you. So you worked in startups in Pittsburgh before moving up to Buffalo with your wife in 2014 and took a job at HSBC Bank. Is that right?
Absolutely. I was married into Buffalo. My wife and I met in Pittsburgh in college. Actually, we met on stage doing musical theater. I grew up playing music and doing that for a long time. It was a business school. So we met there. She was from Buffalo, and we had no real plan to come back to Buffalo. That is until we had our firstborn, and our son Michael we were making trips back and forth to Buffalo to visit family. And, every trip we came back, we started to kind of get a feel for, hey, Buffalo is a pretty, it's on the comeback trail, and it's pretty exciting to see what Buffalo has started and is today. But about 6 years ago, we decided to really make the trek back to her hometown, and I couldn't wait. I've been a big fan of Buffalo. Grew up. She grew up on the water on Lake Erie, and I married into a sailing family, and I am not a sailor, but I quickly got my sea legs somewhat. I won't say I have them really as good as she does, but through moving back to Buffalo, we both wanted to be a part of what was going on, in our respective careers. Starting in startups for me, in e-marketplaces, and then moving to all the way into banking, managing digital product for HSBC Bank, one of the largest banks in the world, which has a great presence here in Buffalo. But I was really yearning and for going back to my roots, which was being a part of the startup.
Yeah, you're a successful business banker supporting a family at HSBC Bank. Walk me through the banker turned entrepreneur story. When did that happen, and how did you come to be the president of HELIXintel?
Well, it all started with a phone call I got one day from my wife's brother, my brother-in-law, John. And John's the CEO of HELIXintel, just to kind of start at the end. But when I got a phone call one day, and my wife was listening in as well. John said, "Hey, listen, I have an idea for a business," and it was more than an idea; it was a way to solve a problem he felt was very prevalent in the industry, and this involved. During his career of connecting business owner operators in the federal government space to large original equipment manufacturers, and everything that involves in the middle is very fragmented. So he said there's got to be a better way to connect these parties electronically. So with his experience in this world of facilities maintenance and management, and my experience building and architecting digital online products and experiences, I said, I think John, we can build this. and so that started this seed of what would become now a business, and a growing one at that.
Yeah, how did you decide to make the leap full time? I mean, side projects are one thing, and taking a risk on a startup, which at the time, hadn't even raised its pre-seed round yet, is quite another. Tell me about the personal side of that. Were you comfortable? Were you anxious? How did your sort of family, react to your decision? What was that like?
So great question. So we'd been working nights and weekends, on this idea, and everything from phone calls to, building a simple prototype, to talking to different people around Buffalo and beyond. And so, as we started to kind of see, okay, let's research the market first, which I would tell anybody to do before they do anything. My wife, John, and myself, we researched the market, did our best analysis, right? Want to overanalyze, but that was really good because we found this underserved population of business owners and operators that are just don't know maybe what they don't know about maintaining their equipment. So validating that idea was crucial in making the next step, which was, okay, let's continue down this path. John and I are, both talking during this time period, and it came to a point where I wasn't the first hire. I wasn't really the second hire. I wasn't third or fourth hire. I mean, we really risked, and it was a risk to finally make that decision to say, all right, well, what am I really passionate about here? Banking has had its place for me, and I loved interacting with customers and the people that I worked with on a daily basis. However, there was always this pursuit, I think, in the back of my mind, is like, okay, what do you really want to become? And that involves taking a big risk sometimes. And I'll tell you, it's a calculated one for me, because I'm very risk adverse. For anybody who knows me, I'm Mr. Safety. So we're going out on the boat. Everybody's got their life jacket on. Okay, so this is not typical Mike making a big decision, but I remember waking up one day and going, you know what, I'm done. Like, I know this is what I have to do. And very few moments of in your life where you have this clarity or this feeling like, okay, this is all right. And so I sat down with my wife. That was the next part. And I said, I think I'm ready to make the full-time leap. And she said, absolutely. So with that support, and then calling John, and he goes, what were you waiting for? I was going to tell you last weekend to jump on board. So it was a calculated risk, but one that I'm just thrilled to take. And now I can be all in, and now I can be invested, every hour of every day.
Yeah. Okay. When was that? Set the scene for me. When did you join full time?
So it was December of 2020, which is when I officially made the leap to jump.
Describe HELIXintel like at that time. Like what was the company's sort of breadth, and where was it at in the sort of life cycle of a early stage startup?
Yeah, so we had got some traction with some angel investment, which helped to hire one of our first employee, Peter Burakowski. It was with 43 North. Peter and I had known each other for a long time before that, through our connections through music and our kids going to nursery school. And in that, we had our first hire. We had some traction with early customers, early stage users. We had built a prototype or an MVP of our online platform, and we were in the midst of let's get our payroll going, let's get some of the key operational processes in place, and that's where some of my experience came into play, as well as on the digital product side. We knew that we wanted to do more with the existing product that we had, and then really start to gain a lot more traction, especially in the Buffalo area. And so that's where we were. We were about, there were about 5 of us on the entire team at that point in time, at least.
Cool. Okay, that was 9 months ago. Bring us up to speed. What has 2021 brought HELIXintel?
So we doubled our team, and we've brought on some great team members, and we've added additional insight through our advisory board. So in 9 months, we've doubled our team. We've had tremendous user uptake and growth, and well, we set some ambitious targets, and thankfully we're hitting those. But then add on this advisory board consisting of 5 really amazing people so far that have contributed a whole lot. And it's been a busy summer, to say the least. We are, we're really, we are started in focusing on HVAC and compressed air equipment, tracking and managing that with customers. But what we've been doing is expanding now based on what we found our users are using the platform for. And now we have fitness equipment, we have restaurant equipment on the platform, Zambonis and vehicles. And I think we even have a case of bacon somebody's tracking on our platform. So above and beyond what we've built, we're seeing it being used in a lot of amazing ways that we never even intended.
Michael, just to help clear up any ambiguity for people who are watching, walk me through a hypothetical for a customer. Just one customer, maybe one or in their sort of, their own sort of equipment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like what does that look like if you're a customer of HELIXintel?
Yeah. So take, for example, let's say the local restaurant that you might go to, around Buffalo. Restaurants have a lot going on, to say the least, especially during this time, right? They're trying to manage staff. They're trying to, get customers in the door. The last thing they need is for a critical piece of equipment to go down. And that's whether it's their air conditioning or your heating or an oven that might just, break in the middle of a busy time.
Since the hypothetical is Buffalo or your fryers.
Your fryer.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, it's game day, and you need to get those wings plated.
That's right.
The last thing you need is your fryer to go out on you. And this happens, right? And so what we want to help with is we want to help these business owners, operators get organized, become proactive by not only tracking the equipment that they have, but understanding what to do with those pieces of equipment to maintain them. We do that through our task manager that we offer on our platform. So after we get them organized and they know what maintenance to do, we are the easy button for them to set up preventive maintenance service contracts if they don't have them already. We can connect them with their existing service providers or new service providers with a click of a button when they do have a problem. So in the case of a restaurant, for example, we just signed up one of our larger restaurant chains, Rachel's Mediterranean Grill. They have not only a ton of equipment to maintain and track, but also a lot of supplies. They're starting to use it for supplies inventory management. So that's really been exciting. But really, what we focus on is, getting the customer, organized, getting their equipment on the platform, and connecting them to the right people proactively, and also, when they need them the most.
So, what's the benefit about being organized and proactive when it comes to your equipment? What's the value proposition?
Yeah, a great question. So, the value prop is that you're going to save energy costs by maintaining the equipment that you have. You're going to save in new equipment costs for sure, and you're going to also help to reduce all of that overhead and get it off of your plate, so that you can kind of focus on what you do best and let HELIXintel come in and be a partner with you in this whole journey of managing a business and maintaining your equipment to do that.
HELIXintel closed a $1.6 million pre-seed round earlier this year, if I have the details correct on that, with some really exciting investors, some of whom are from the Bay Area and some of whom are local. Tell me about the raise and what you're doing with the cash.
Yeah, so we're super thankful to have investors like Motivate Ventures and Future Communities in the Bay Area, Green Egg. launch New York. We're really thankful to have them on our side, not only because of the capital, but because of the relationships they've been able to help. We've met so many great users and other investors, advisors, service providers. So the capital is great. The all of those other benefits that we've been able to obtain because of that has been amazing. The capital helped us, over the past 9 to 12 months ramp up. Like I said, we were able to double our team, and in that we wanted to focus on outreach and building that liquidity side of the marketplace, which is equipment owners and operators, getting equipment on the platform, which leads to helping them service that equipment and getting connected to our authorized network of service providers. So that those funds helped us ramp up on the personnel side, and also put a lot of thought into what we were designing and building by getting all those users on our platform.
Cool. Okay. All right. I want to know where HELIXintel is going next, what the future of the company is, but this is itching at me, so I have to ask a personal question first, because I know Peter, who you mentioned earlier. I also play guitar, and I know that he can really carry on a conversation about musical instruments and indie rock. So what do you play, and what kind of music do you listen to?
Yeah, no, I started when I was 6 or 7 learning how to play the piano. And I come from a pretty musical family, so it was half an hour every night, practice. And by high school, I was, another recital. I don't know if I could do this anymore, but I just quickly discovered, 90s rock music. Child of the 80s, came into, this scene. And quickly said, I need to learn the guitar here, and front the band that I happened to be in at the time. So, quickly, I think we were playing, Nirvana pretty steadily in basements and different venues throughout my high school career. And then, so piano and guitar, and still a huge part of actually helping me in ways that I didn't even know, just trying to get the next gig or selling yourself, to get fans in the door, kind of like starting a band like a startup in a lot of ways. So yeah, I really enjoy that, and still play to this day.
I'm sure there were some triumphant backyard, teenage shows in Eastern Pennsylvania in the 90s or whatever it was that you were doing this.
Yeah, lugging the equipment up the hill in Pittsburgh, to a backyard stage. Yeah, those were fun times for sure.
Yeah. Funny. All right, so listen, so you've done a good job explaining, what HELIXintel offers and how far it's come. But what are you building here? I mean, what do you expect of the company over the next couple of years?
We expect growth, and more growth right now, which is, who doesn't want to do that? But right now we're welcoming new users on the platform, which are small, medium-sized businesses. We're welcoming and signing on hotels, restaurants, fitness centers, manufacturers. They've given us a tremendous response. In some cases, they've come to us saying, we need this. Where has this been? And so, getting these companies from using pen and paper or spreadsheets into, our platform to help track and manage their equipment, continue to offer a simple and easy to use, online web application that they hopefully love, and that it's free. It's free for them to use as well.
That feels like a lot of different kind of customer types. Is that okay? are you having to manage the breadth of the demand right now? Or are you just kind of saying come one and come all, and your marketplace is sort of built for that kind of robust diversity of customer?
Yeah. So when we started out, over a year ago, we knew we couldn't, boil the ocean, so to speak. We wanted to really focus on a couple of equipment types in one market, and we knew our next step from that was, let's validate that, let's test the waters, and we knew, we built a tool that was that could scale and grow. We knew, folks have a lot more equipment to manage other than, just HVAC and compressed air. They want to manage their refrigeration. They want to manage a lot of these other types of equipment. And at the time, instead of us trying to guess, we really did say, all right, why not? Why not onboard an entire restaurant, which I was in some dark basements over the summer, helping to onboard, restaurant equipment, which included everything from stand mixers to ovens to overhead HVAC units, and then sit down with the business owners and say, hey, if you're looking at managing your physical assets, let's come up with a plan. Let's help you. Did you know this was not working correctly? All right, let's tackle that first. I remember over the summer, we were helping one restaurant. I said, what's your biggest problem right now? And they said, well, we need to build a wall for our new walk-in cooler. Well, all right, let's get on the phone, and I'm going to call a contractor right now so we can help you build that wall and get that walk-in cooler that you need. So we never wanted to limit ourselves. We wanted to use the skills and what we've built to help and give a tool to folks that they can use and then be a resource for them for, really whatever else comes next.
So you're painting an optimistic portrait right now. You're saying that the growth has met your ambitious pre-existing benchmarks in 2021. What are the challenges and choke points that are in front of you as you seek to sort of meet your own ambitious goals?
Yeah. So I think the some of the challenges that we face now are we know we want to scale. We know we want to it's great to have some of these guerrilla tactics that we've come to know and love as an early stage startup. Walking into the door of local businesses, getting them. We've had tremendous success with reaching out and getting the effort off the ground from a manual perspective, so to speak. We'd like to automate some of that even more. So automating the outreach now, learning, okay, what worked and what didn't in those situations. We had to go through that, that kind of pain of maybe our messaging wasn't the right fit for that market. Let's try something else. So that kind of process of going through and trying and testing, we're going to continue to do. But really, it's okay. We want to scale, and that's going to involve further automating our outreach through numerous efforts, through numerous channels. We have some plans in the works for that, and then growing our company from going from 5 to 10, doubling a team in such a short period of time isn't easy. You have to maintain that communication, especially because we're in a remote situations, even further remote, because we have team members all over the country, including France and Italy now helping us. So I think we've done a really, really good job of maintaining the tribe. We have a ritual every Wednesday we we get on a phone call for an hour and we'll go around the horn. I think we don't want to lose that culture going forward. I think that's going to be a challenge to continue to maintain that when we grow to hopefully 25 to 50 to 100, whatever comes next. So those are the things that we're trying to wrap our hands around and our arms around, make sure we do a good job at those things going forward.
Yeah, good segue, and we're sort of drawing near here on the time. So I have a couple more quick questions, and the first one is about the workforce. How much hiring do you expect going forward?
Well, that's a good question. We're focused right now on Buffalo and building our team in Buffalo, which is going to include software engineers. It's going to include marketing folks. It's going to include sales and outreach folks. And so our plans is if we've doubled over the past 9 months, we want to continue to scale and grow and build out those teams. First and foremost in Buffalo, we have a great office space here which we can expand into as we grow. But won't surprise me if we double again over a short period of time. But yeah, we have some plans to expand, and we have the room and capability hopefully to do that.
You work out of UB's brand new incubator on the medical campus. Tell me about your office space, and then outside of that, I'll attend a second question and then let you talk. What's it like being a startup in Buffalo?
Yeah. So I never imagined in a million years we'd have such an amazing space this early on in the life of our company. Coming from the bedrooms and the basements of where we started out, we have access to a fantastic facility here on the second floor of the CBLS building, which was just remodeled, just redone. And we were the first tenants to kind of take occupancy back in December when I was just starting. So I really look forward to going to work because we have the great space, but also the opportunity here to have support from UB is huge for us, their staff, faculty, alumni, and also the opportunity to work with other startups who are also taking residence here and have been throughout the course of the year. So our neighbors are, we're actually helping each other with, hey, can I pitch this to you? Absolutely. Let's take the time to do that. That's really important to us as well. And so, you ask what's it like to be a startup in Buffalo. When I first landed in Buffalo, I had a couple of job interviews, but I landed at Z80 Labs. It was the first really kind of home base I could say I set up, and I met some of the folks. I mean, you could just rattle off the names here. I mean, they're at the top of the food chain in terms of startup companies. Dan Maniszewski is one of the first guys I met, right, from ACD Auctions. So seeing where Buffalo was at that time 6 or 7 years ago, and joining the corporate world, and then having a chance to come back again, we are getting such support and love in Buffalo, and as well, from investors to Startup New York to Launch New York to the NYSERDA Eco Incubator. Buffalo's really helped and embraced us, and we're embracing them by being here and being headquartered here. And I gotta tell you, it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Mike. I feel like we probably have another half hour in us, but I mean, I think the general rule on these things is to leave them wanting more. So I'm going to end it here. I really appreciate you joining us, and I can't wait to watch as HELIXintel continues to grow.
It's been an honor, pleasure, Dan. I really appreciate you, reaching out, and maybe we'll do it again.
Absolutely. We hope everybody likes Bites with the Beat. We plan on making this a regular occurrence. And so I guess that's my way of saying we'll see everybody soon.